Amid the hijab row, the Karnataka state board exams for class 10 are going to begin today. The Education Department has identified around 3,400 exam centres across the state, where a total of about 8.7 lakh students have registered to take their exams that are scheduled to happen between 28th of March and the 11th of April. Several girl students across the state, remember, missed their final practical exams because they weren't allowed to wear a hijab for their exam. The Karnataka Minister for Primary and Secondary Education, B.C. Nagesh, once again has reiterated that the High Court order must be followed and no student will be allowed to wear a hijab and appear for the exams. However, students of private institutions, if there's a mention of wearing the hijab in their institution's manual, can follow the dress code as prescribed by the respective colleges. So this is essentially an order that, remember, applies only to government colleges. The Karnataka High Court earlier this month upheld the government order and the case is still pending in the Supreme Court. Let's go right across to Shrija joining us with the very latest. Shrija, as board exams begin today, the focus once again returns to those girl students who missed the practical exams. Are we expecting that there's going to be a large dropout in terms of girls who won't be allowed to enter government schools to be able to write the board exams because of the hijab row?
Well, clearly it was just last week where we did see the original petitioners of the hijab ban. They had, in fact, moved the Supreme Court for an urgent hearing and also seeking an intervention of the Supreme Court very urgently in terms of if they can go ahead and attend the board exams wearing a hijab. But clearly we did see for the second time where Supreme Court had rejected that particular urgent hearing. Now we see today is a very big day for nearly 8.73 lakh students who have registered to take their SSLC exams, which is the 10th board exams here in Karnataka. And as per the state, we understand that they have identified at least about 3,444 exam centers. So across these centers, we see that there are, the Education Department officials who have been deployed at various exam centers to ensure that these students, especially the students entering the government schools, they follow the High Court's order, which clearly just earlier this month upheld the Karnataka government's order dated 5th of February, which said that the prescribed uniform by the government will have to be followed. So it remains to be seen that today is just the first day of the exams. How many children, especially the school children, will drop out, or how many of them will take off their hijab and take their exams. Now that is what we will have to wait and watch out for. But we did, of course, see over the last few weeks where several students across the state of Karnataka, over 300 students, where they could not take their final practical exams. In fact, they also requested the education minister, saying that if they could appear for a repeat test. But now we see BC Nagesh has clarified, saying that those who missed, especially the board exams, will be allowed to take the supplementary exams. This is right 2 months after the results are out, but again without a hijab.
Thanks very much, Shrija, for joining us with the very latest. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you. The board exam, remember, is scheduled to begin in just a short while from now. And we'll, of course, get you all the live updates from the entrances of government schools across Karnataka on whether or not girls are actually going ahead, writing the exams without the hijab, taking it off the entrance, or what really is happening at ground zero.